thing off. All right, here we go. Just got back from the gym, running super late. Wanted to get this out as quickly as possible, and I apologize. Here we go. Today we're talking about 3 things you need to know. How much is your house going to cost by 2030? And what's the cost of $2,000 today compared to 1850? And a new restaurant's opening up, and I'm excited about it because it's walking distance. So we'll talk about that. Let me see if I can do this real quick. I didn't get 100% set up, so I apologize. We're going to start with the restaurant. Now, if you know this area right here, this is Santa Teresa and Blossom Valley. This is my park right here. Kaiser's right here, 87. This is Cottle, Santa Teresa, 24 Hour Fitness, Moonbeans is right here. This little area right here. Oro's Thai, which is a great restaurant. Moonbeans is here. There's Bank of the West. I always wanted to convert this into a wine place, but look, this place right here used to be Jack in the Box. It's going to be a restaurant. It's going to be a Mexican restaurant, and I am super stoked about that because I can walk there. Yeah, get drunk a little bit if I decide to drink, and then I can saunter home. Saunter, that's actually the name of a street right here. Saunter. See? All right, enough of that. How much was your house? How much is a $2,000 worth from 1850 to 2023? Now, this is a great example of inflation. They're saying that the feds today say that they have inflation in check, right? Because it's now coming down. Inflation is now coming down. In the 60s, 70s, and 80s, or the 70s and 80s, we saw inflation spike. We also saw it spike in 1916 during the World War, or after the World War, and then 1862, which Spanish-American War? I don't know. So what I keep telling people is that our inflation factorializes. It continues to become more expensive month over month over month over month. And that's why this is a good diagram. Because the $2,000 that we had back in 1850 is now worth over almost $80,000, $78,000. Conversely, that $2,000 is the buying power right here. The buying power is a whole lot less. It's worth $50 compared to the year 2000, right? Now, how much is $1,000 worth in 1850? It's worth $39,000 today. So roughly 40,000 times, 400 times, right? It's worth 40 times more in 1880. And it's because of all this. And here's something that I want you to take into account. You're going to see a lot of these graphs coming up. They don't have fuel. They don't have gas. They call it other goods and services, but they don't have heating, utilities. I know it's like I don't know why they don't include it. They have medical care, which medical care has gone crazy expensive, right? I'm a proud grandpa. Am I not knowing something? Okay. So anyway, that's something to be aware of. Your dollar is worth less every day. Every time you see that inflation number go up, that inflation number go up. Even though it's a tiny amount, over time, it adds up because it doesn't just go up and back down. It doesn't go up and back down. It continues to add on top of, add on top of, add on top of. And I know most of us understand that, but a lot of us don't. It's like that progressive tax thing, you know? I don't know how I got this, but I got it again. An agent got caught drinking milk out of a refrigerator. Shame on him. How much is your house going to cost by the year 2030, which is only 7 years away, guys? 6.5 years away. Let's get rid of this. Okay, so the average cost of a house today is what? We already know that. I have it here because we track it. Wednesday, the average cost of a house is the median price of a house today in the United States is $410,000. Right? It chopped up and went back down. I want to say that the number that I saw last year, June report, was 416,000. So we're coming back, right? I think that the number, and we could come to a stall and see that number stall again, right? And it adjusts over time. So when I said it was 416, it was actually brought down to 413,800. So that's a normal thing for that number to adjust, right? So looking here, we're at $410,000. We're very close to getting back to normal. What's it going to cost in 7 years? Well, the cost, average home value as of, see, it depends on where you are, but on the average, we're going to see it go up. I think we're going to see another 10%. So this median sales price, we're going to put another $40,000 on top of that. So we're going to see about $460,000, $480,000. And I'll call it about $470,000 in 7 years. Because I think even if we do see a massive correction, like an economic downturn, depression, recession, what have you, I think what we're going to see is that this number will come back over time. And over time is what matters, right? And that's the point I want to make sure that we understand. Even if we see prices crash for, where's this? Even if we see prices crash, we're going to see it come back. It will come back. I know we're artificially inflated right here, guys, but at the same time, it will come back, right? Because this is the conservative number that we tell people. See prices rise 8% over every year, but really it's been about 15%. Under promise and over deliver, right? So all the chicken littles that are out there saying the market's going to crash, it might. It really might. We don't know, right? We just don't know until we know. So let's go take a look at today's highs and lows in Silicon Valley, Santa Clara County. We had 132 closes. Rates actually exploded. I want to show you this. It's not this. It's actually 7.25. Look at that, 7.24%. Mark it there for you, so you have it. That's crazy. Why are we doing that? I think we're artificially increasing it because we're coming into an election cycle and we're trying to slow down the market. If you look, we're still seeing closes at 130, 150, 180. In June of this year, we almost had 200 closes, right? This is only because inventory is down. Because look, over all the ones that closed, right? Now, granted, rates a month ago were 6.9. So it wasn't that much, that wasn't far off. People forget that 7% is painful. They just know that they have to buy a house. And if it's time for them to buy a house, they're going to buy a house. 132 of them bought a single family house last week or closed on a house last week. Not like the fire sale that we had 2 years ago, but it's still going. 87 of them were over list price. That's 67%. 2/3 of all the houses that closed went for over list price, right? A lot of them were just squeaking right over, but at the same time, we did have 133, which is actually the highest, and then this is not the lowest. Why do I have it like that? So let's take a quick look at this. This is the most expensive house that sold, listed at 7.988, was on market 23 days, sold for 7.5, $500,000 less. and it's gorgeous. It's a beautiful house, right? People that want are going to get. The one that sold for the least amount of money sold for 100%, took 21 days, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. It's 101 years old, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,600 square foot. I feel like I've been in this one before. Ooh, $750,000. If you don't live in Silicon Valley, what can you get for $750,000? A wall furnace, maybe a newer kitchen, LPV vinyl. I'm not a big fan of that LPV. I know they keep pushing it because it's a high profit margin, but I don't like it. Okay. This one right here, 1.2, sold for 1.6, 128 over list price. And it looks like that was on a busy street. No, that's a filter. Vargas Place. It's off the beaten path, but still close to San Tomas. Pretty basic ranch. These are not my listings. I have the MLS listing numbers down below if you want to research that. I'm not taking credit for this, just so you know. This is a nice looking house. It was nicely remodeled, right? I don't like the fact that you have the washer and dryer right in your face. I would have preferred to have that in the garage or closed off somehow. But, you know, when you're buying Santa Clara, you don't really get a choice. You get to get what you get and you don't throw a fit. And this one, wow, look at this. This is pretty. This one is in Los Altos. Wow, nice craftsman style. Only one house or one picture because it's sold. That's a new thing. Yeah, listed at $6 million, sold for almost $5 million. 6-bedroom, 6.5 bath, 4,500 square foot on over a quarter of an acre, and it was built in 2009. There you go. All right, there you go. 3 things you need to know. Cost of money is going down. Houses are going to get more expensive. Median sales price is going. What was the other thing? Oh, Mexican restaurant coming in Boston Valley. Super excited. I'm going to do a walkthrough so you'll see it. And yeah, we're maintaining status quo. Houses are still selling, guys. Don't be afraid. You know, this is the time to buy. If it's time for you to buy, it's time for you to buy. Right? I'm Vito with Abitano. We'll see you out there.